I love that you always cut to the chase on Twitter, on TV, in Congress, wherever you are. You just said if you still continue to support Donald Trump, you are un-American. Thank you for saying it like it is, because I keep saying that too. You cannot say that you support someone that says they would blow up the Constitution, that continually takes our enemies' side. Un-American is the only word to describe that, isn't it?
Absolutely. I know folks that supported Donald Trump the first time just to try something different or for a variety of other reasons. But if you still support him now, then you are un-American, you're unpatriotic, you're anti-American, you don't believe in Constitution. And it just bothers me that people can still support someone who wants to terminate the Constitution.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we were just talking about you are, of course, a former prosecutor as well. You retweeted more classified documents found at a storage unit in West Palm Beach, Florida, used by the former president in a search conducted by a firm after a D.C. federal judge recently demanded Trump's side attest to having turned over all classified documents in their possession. And you just said the former president was and is a walking national security disaster. Mm-hmm. What is the GOP going to do about it? Investigate Hunter Biden's laptop. But I mean, I don't know. I keep feeling like you're one of the only people that has this urgency about the national security threat that he is currently, not just was, right?
Yes, I had a security clearance before Congress. I served on active duty in the United States military, and we were trained to be very, very careful with classified documents. And if any of us did what Donald Trump did, we'd be in prison. Right. In fact, we sent a federal employee last year to prison because she simply took some secret classified documents back to her hotel room. Donald Trump had classified documents way above the secret level, and what he did was completely unacceptable, and it put our national security in danger.
So obviously we've heard that it's going to be the week of December 19th. The January 6th committee will make, release their report and also make criminal referrals. What is your take on that? Because I understood that, when people say, it's not necessary to make a criminal referral to DOJ and it might politicize it. I mean, first of all, it's already political. When a former president tries to overthrow the government of the United States, I think we passed political quite a while ago, right? What is your take on, what the impact of that'll be?
So my view is that it is absolutely bad and horrible for the United States to put a former president into jail or prison. And to me, the only thing worse is to not put that person in for political reasons. Right. So I think they should be done on the facts. Donald Trump is entitled to the presumption of innocence like any other American. And we should let prosecutors and professionals take a look at this. And then if it goes to a trial, let a jury decide based on the facts.
Well, you tweeted about Jack Smith, the new prosecutor, that he wants to see Trump communications from Arizona, Michigan, and Wisconsin. And you just said, I simply note that engaging in a conspiracy to appoint fake electors to overthrow the will of the people is totally bigly very illegal. That's a legal term, bigly, right? Bigly illegal?
It is. It came from the Trump administration. From the so. And I just want to know, just because you do something brazenly and openly in public view doesn't mean it's legal. You cannot, in a democracy, try to engage fake electors and engage in conspiracy to overturn the will of the people. That is flat out illegal. And so glad that Jack Smith is subpoenaing witnesses, and let's see what the facts show.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you also tweeted Trump Organization found guilty on 17 counts, and who authorized the criminal tax fraud? Donald Trump. I would say they should get used to hearing guilty in terms of verdicts. I agree with most legal experts at this point that I think Trump is going to be indicted on all of the things we're talking about. Do you remain confident that we're going to see justice, whether it's January 6th, espionage, Georgia? What is your take on all that?
So as a former prosecutor, there's a difference between someone doing bad and illegal things and whether there is enough evidence to convict a person of doing bad and illegal things. And so that's what prosecutors in Georgia and in New York and other places will have to look at. So I don't know enough of those facts and exactly kind of evidence that they have. So it's certainly possible that maybe they don't have enough evidence to go forward and do an indictment, but maybe they do. And so we'll just have to wait to see what these professionals do.
Yeah, yeah. I love the shade that you throw on Twitter. You said red wave. Oh, wait. Trump, turns out the majority of voters don't want extreme, unqualified candidates who kowtow to Trump. I mean, Herschel Walker is the latest, I just love I don't even know Nick Adams is whoever that, he identifies himself as an alpha male. He said Herschel Walker is going to shock the world tonight, and you just tweeted back, nope. Nope, he is not.
Herschel Walker's, not only was he extreme, he was totally unqualified.
Yes.
You just listen to his speeches for longer than 1 minute, you realize he's not qualified. And so it's highly disturbing that a bunch of people voted for him knowing he was totally not qualified to serve the United States Senate.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I said there's not one Republican representative that thinks he was qualified to be a United States senator. That's the cowardice that embodies this Republican Party. I mean, you said Senator Warnock helped pass the American Rescue Plan, infrastructure law, Inflation Reduction Act, all of which helped American families. Herschel Walker talked about Hunter Biden's laptop, vampires, and his love of Donald Trump. Guess who the majority of Georgia voters chose? And I think you summed it up best on Twitter. You said Donald Trump's a loser and his handpicked candidates are losers. But that seems the only reason the GOP appears to be, Fox News and other places ready to dump him, not because of any of the horrible criminal things he's done, but because he's a loser and he's causing them to lose race after race, right?
That's exactly right. They overlooked his racism, his criminality, his patently harmful things he did to the United States of America, but they couldn't overlook the fact that he's a loser. And so that's why they're abandoning him now. And we'll see what happens. He is still a major threat. He still has a core group of supporters, and he can certainly still win the Republican primary. And so we still have to take him very seriously. But he's been deeply wounded these last 2 years.
Yeah. You said, why did Dems expand the Senate overperform in the House in the midterm? Because Dems put people over politics and passed laws to help Americans. What is the GOP focused on? Hunter Biden's laptop. This is why Dems will take back the House in 2024, guaranteed. How are you going to handle that? These endless BS investigations of not just Hunter Biden, but the January 6th investigators trying to blame January 6th on Nancy Pelosi, Dr. Fauci, you name it, right?
So I'm on the House Judiciary Committee, and I do believe that Jim Jordan is going to go extreme and off the deep end because he can't help himself. And they're going to, instead of working on inflation and reducing gas prices, they're going to work on Hunter Biden's laptop. And so for the sake of our country, I hope they don't do that. But if they do that, then I'm just going to yield my time to them and have them keep talking because I think that's what's going to make the American people really see how extreme they are. The other reason we're going to win, by the way, in 2 years is because our grassroots folks are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, I had the opportunity, by the way, to go to New Mexico, and I visited with the Democratic Party of Los Alamos County, who are some of your strongest supporters, Stephanie.
Aww.
And so I want to give a shout out to them. Aww. And I was just inspired by the amazing grassroots folks we saw all over the place. I, at the time, was campaigning for Congresswoman Teresa Leger Fernandez, an awesome member of Congress. But I knew then that we were going to do very well in the midterms.